Very good afternoon and welcome to Racing International. Today we head out to the VAR where we're racing on the outside track and we have 9 races on the card. Let's go and have a look at conditions for you. Penetrometer 20, we've had no rain. Actually 4 mils in the last 7 days, but it's just been a light sprinkling. Certainly a welcome for the lawns up here. Everything's starting to go a little bit brown at the moment. False rail, well, it's 2 metres in from the 1600 to the 500. That won't affect too much as everything is up the straight today. So yeah, it looks like a good day's racing. And something I picked up the other day is that normally on the outside track, we've always recommended middle to outside draws. But I tell you what, they were winning right across the track the other day. So I think it's the bias has gone a little bit, and I think the track is running pretty fair. All right, first on the card, let's get into it. A maiden juvenile plate for the 2-year-olds, obviously up the straight of 1,200 metres. A greater power, number 1. This is from the powerful Sean Terry stable and some Munga Kamalo. Very short indeed. Now, it's had the 1 run. They backed it solid that day from 4-1 into 14-10. Showed speed, was up there handy and faded out. Well beaten, 4 1/4 lengths. Found one too good in that day, running into second. Now, there's plenty of first-timers here. I'm going to go with it because it's had the experience, but it was well beaten and it's 7-10. Very short indeed. All right, number 4. Throw this in, the Mike de Kock bred horse. Ego Amigo, it's a 2-year-old son of Redoubt's Choice, beautifully bred individual. This one, always respect the Mike de Kock stable, and Mowing jumps aboard here. Number 3, Brave Nation, Chase Majan, 6-1, might be worth throwing in. Now, this is a 2-year-old son of VAR, and they're normally pretty precocious. They go well early, and it's from the very strong stable of Jeff Woodruff. If you're looking for one more, we'll throw in the 5 as well. This is from the Clinton Binder stable. His comment was, he thinks he can run a chance. That's from Clinton Binder, and it's a decent price, worth putting in the trifectas at 14-1. Here we go, race 2 on the card. It's a juvenile plate for the 2-year-old fillies over the 1,200 metres, and we're leaning towards number 11 here. I think might be the right one. It's beautifully bred. Look, we haven't had a comment from the stable. I'm looking at the breeding here. Champion trainer, champion jockey jump aboard. The bookmaker's taking no chances here. 18-10 at the moment, and this is an Australian bred. This is a 2-year-old daughter of More Than Ready, another well-bred individual. But the best guide's going to be the betting in the race. Keep an eye on that, and certainly don't leave out another well-bred individual, number 8 with Mowing aboard from the Alec Laird stable. Now, this is firmed in now to 5-2. Now, I'm talking to you at 8:30 in the morning, South African time, currently priced up at that shortish price. All right, trifecta time. They're difficult, these races, because some of the horses who have had a run improve and some go backwards. But I'm going to throw number 4, Lady Christina. It's got Mowing aboard. Young Wesley Mowing jumps aboard this one, priced up at 4-1. Wasn't a bad first gallop. Wasn't fancy to mark. In fact, it drifted all the way out to 33-1. All right, Lebanese Tractor. We're going to put that in from the Paul Peter stable. J.P. van der Berve, another well-bred individual, having its first start today, priced up at 10-1. Yeah, race 3 on the card. It's over the 1,200 metres. All right, this is another maiden plate. Number 3 is the one we're liking here. Another Australian-bred horse. I tell you what, Clinton Binder, watch out for him today. He's the trainer. I think he's got a pretty decent card here. This one's having its 3rd run back from the rest. And the stable said they fancy this in a weakish field. And it isn't the strongest of fields. Craig Zaki, now the new jockey aboard. He's riding well at the moment. And it's drawn down the inside in barrier 3. Now, we're going to recommend a little bit of an each-way bet here. Clinton is very bullish about his chances here. It's currently priced up at 6-1. Number 1, Vars Pride, must have a bit of a squeak here. It's had 2 runs over the course and distance and only managed to run into a 4th, but it's found betting support now, as you mentioned, not as strongest of fields. This one's drawn towards the outside in barrier 10 and quite firm as well at 5-2. I've put in the 4 to round it off, and it's a very open betting race here, and Centrefield might worth be going in from the Weber's stable. Habib, the jockey, jumps aboard. You know, it's been there and thereabouts. I don't think a horse like this can win it, but certainly could test the top 3 or 4 spots. Here we go, race 4 on the card. It's over the 1,600 metres. Another maiden plate, number 1, Resolute Captain. Young Murray, the apprentice. He doesn't claim anymore, but he jumps aboard this one. Now, I'm a bit undecided about this. It's a 3-year-old daughter of Captain L. She's giving weight away to older horses. They're always a bit tough. She's got to carry the 60 kilos. Is she the right horse? Well, I think she probably could be the right horse, but, you know, she's very short at 7-10. If I was looking at another horse here, I'd be looking at number 3, Diamond Conquer. Young Matthew Thackeray, he jumps aboard, drawn in barrier 9. This is over the 1600 metres where it's been competing in its last 3 outings and never too far away. Now, I think this horse is on the up. It's a lightly raced 5-year-old, only having its 5th career start today and placed on 3 occasions. If I was having the bet in the race, I'd be having a little bit of a place bet on that one, currently priced up at 9-2. Now, what about number 10? Is that worth considering? Well, I think so, from the Sean Terry and Samunga Kamalo combination once again get together. It is having its second run after gelding. It wasn't a bad comeback run, showed a bit of speed, was up the handy and faded out. So should come on from that run and might be worth popping in as well. All right, we needed one more and we had a look at number 6, Keep On Flying. Habit jumps aboard, drawn in barrier 6. Here's another horse that's plodding away. It's had 13 starts, only had 1 placing so far, but actually never finishes too far behind. We're all within about 3 or 4 lengths of them. Might be including if you're looking for another one. Race 5 on the card is a merit rated 72 handicap. 1400 metres where we're going. And number 2, Crimson Magic. Now there's a change of jockey here. Andrew Fortune, he's in form at the moment. He's certainly booting home plenty of winners. And it's a pretty open looking race. So I'm going to go with 11-2 each way. It's got a good record over the course and distance. Had a win in a second from its 5 outings and drawn in barrier 6. Are there plenty of dangers? Well, I think there are a few. And it looks, like I said, a pretty open looking race. And King Jared having its 3rd run back from rest now. One where it come back on debut, that was in early April, and then had another gallop the other day, and actually ran another cracker there. It was only beaten a length and 3/4, so certainly in top form and certainly has to go into the mix. Number 3 with Ryan Munger aboard from the Craig Mayhew stable. Another horse having its 3rd run back from a little bit of a rest. Ticking along. Never really fancied the race. It's always big prices. Been going off at 40-1, 20-1, 16-1, but hasn't been finishing far behind. And a little bit shorter in the betting today at 12-1. Tabrique can go in here. Now I've brassed the 16-10 favourite here. I actually don't like it. It's had 4 runs over this trip and never run into the money. Well, I may be wrong, but I think it's very short price for a horse like this. Drawn on the outside in barrier 14 and gets the services of Wai Chong Mowing aboard. Race 6 on the card is travelling over the 1400 metres. Merit rated 71 handicap. And number 7, Yankee Captain, Samunga Kamala. Now, this is very short in the betting at 14-10. If you have a look at that run last time when having its 3rd career start, it was drawn out very wide at Turfentine under the lights. 10 out of 14 over the 1400. And that's a tough draw. They bounced it out, raced it up to the front, and obviously it was going to get a little bit tired towards the end. Well, it's drawn okay today up the straight of 1400 metres, and I think it'll go pretty close, due to come out the maidens. But it will have opposition from 2 Golden Man with Andrew Fortune and the Maroon Stable. Certainly been knocking very loudly on the door for that 2nd career victory. Run second in its last 3 outings and finished just in behind Yankee Captain. No, it didn't. Sorry, that's the wrong horse, but finished in behind Odd Rob when only beaten just under a length last time. So there's a lot of people touting this. It has run second on both occasions over the course and distance. You can throw in the 6 here, Devious Tiger. Might have a bit of a chance. The trainer said Clinton Binder. He does like it today, but he thinks it'll be tough to beat Golden Man in his opinion, but he'd certainly be putting it in the trifectas. Looking for one more, I've thrown in number 8, Blue Blazer, and he's a big outsider. The stable, Heather Adamson, she says, I give it a bit of a chance today. Ignore its last couple of runs. It's better than that, so we're going to put it in on her recommendation at 33-1. Race 7 on the card is a merit rated 72 handicap. Travelling up the straight of 1,000 metres. And number 5 is where we're going here, Dragoon. We've been tipping this for a while. We've been not tipping it first. We've been putting it in there and thereabouts. It only finished a couple of lengths behind last time. Lakes, in fact, its last 2 starts has run 3rd and never finishing far behind them. So another open-looking race. Samunga Kamala's ridden it in its last 2 outings. He'll know it a lot better now, and I certainly give it a bit of an each-way chance at 5-1. Supernova. Well, Leon Erasmus has got 4 runners in this race. He said this is a stable elect. He likes it. He gives it a chance. It was impressive last time when they brought it back from a bit of a break. It was on the 12th of April over the 1,000 metres. That was at the Vale in a merit rated 72 handicap. Now, it carried on that occasion, what was it carrying there? 58 kilos. Today it's got to carry 61. So give it a tough task here at the weights, but certainly in good form. Righto, number 7, Daz Port goes in, comes out of the form line behind 9 Gunfighter last time. That was a nice run when not fancied. Actually stayed on pretty well, was only beaten a length and 3/4. And number 8, Salute the Sun, comes out exactly the same form line. There was only about half a length between the two of them. Here we go with race 8 on the card. It's a Fillies and Mares 87 handicap up the straight of 1,200 metres. And number 2, Oldham. Munga Khumalo gets aboard for the Sean Terry stable. Now, should be cherry ripe today, having its 3rd run back after rest. Has plenty of early gate speed, expected to be right up there on the pace, but is trying the course and distance for the first time today. All right, there's a few dangers. The lightly raced number 5, Holly Point, with JP van der Merwe at 22 to 10. Well, it's only had the 2 starts and won both of them. Certainly impressive on debut, but there's been no winners out of that form line from 13 runners. Then they gave it a spell and brought it back in April, and it went on to win by the shortest of short heads there. So certainly a horse on the up, beautifully bred individual, and could be more to come there. All right, number 9 goes into it as well. Had a good look at this one's form line. Certainly course and distance suited, had 3 runs for a win in 2 seconds, so certainly enjoys it, and certainly got a decent galloping weight here of only 52.5 kilos. If you need another one, Nespresso might be the right one here. Marco van Rensburg, change of jockey, he jumps aboard now. 3rd run after rest, been running over the 1,200 in its last 3 outings, including a win over the course and distance going back 2 starts ago. So certainly in very good form at the moment, and I think it's worth including at 10 to 1. Race 9 on the card is a Fillies and Mares 69 handicap over the 1,200 metres for the Fillies and the Mares. And number 5 in another open-looking race, I've gone with a bit of outside value here at 12 to 1. The comment from the stable is, ignore its last run. That's not its form. Something went amiss there. Was reported not striding out, and she gives it a decent chance with a claim off the back of 4 kilos. Certainly brings it in with a decent weight now of only 54. Number 2, well, Sean Terry and Munga Khumalo, very strong hand again today. And there's also value in this horse at 7 to 1. Finished behind Bally Swiss, who's in top form at the moment, when only beaten 2 1/4 lengths going back a couple of starts ago. That should be good enough form to see it there and thereabouts. All right, for the trifectas, rounding off S-Way number 11, Sherman Brown certainly has a bit of a chance here at 10 to 1. Now, got up to win a nice race 2 starts ago, and then was very disappointing last time, but that was over the 1,400. They've brought it back to the 1,200 today and should be better suited here. Number 6, which is Lady Thistle. Young Murray, the apprentice, who doesn't claim here, jumps aboard. And another one at a bit of value who certainly showed good improvement last time, now priced up at 7 to 1. Now, that was on the inside track at Turpentine over the 1,200, where it actually ran a cracking race, only going down just under a 1/4 length. So certainly brings it into this field with a bit of a chance. Yeah, some pretty short price favourites today. Keep an eye on them. I'm not too sure about a couple of those. But anyway, the bookies meant to know what they're doing, and maybe let's hope we're right, and we've recommended a couple of decent each way bets. We're going to be putting up all our selections at our Twitter account at Racing and Tips. From myself, Rod McCurdy, and all the team, we certainly wish you a very successful punting afternoon.